Hello everyone, my name is Andrew Toy, a film critic for Film Book. Today I will be reviewing Violation. If there's an overabundance of a certain genre in the world of films, I'd say it's superhero movies and small-time horror films. And it's a gamble with each installment on either side of the aisle. There are some that offer great fresh takes on the genre that justify its existence. Sometimes an entry is made into the franchise and it's just another one to add to its growing collection, not to be spotlighted nor entirely dismissed. And then you've got the pariah, installments that make you wish you'd never seen a GD horror or superhero movie in your life, and you wish everyone would just die and stop making those movies henceforth and forevermore until death do us part, amen. We'll talk about whether Violation is one of those latter movies or not. I'm not saying that's the case for Violation. I just was thinking of many DC movies and several indie horror films that have come out in the last couple of years that just suck. Now let's talk about Violation, which I screened during the South by Southwest Virtual Film Festival. Violation is directed by Dusty Mancelli and Madeleine Sims-Fewer. It stars Madeleine Sims-Fewer, Anna Maguire, and Jesse Lavercombe. I'm not even gonna edit out these mispronunciations. Some of them are you just gotta roll with it. You just got to pretend you know what you're talking about. You've likely noticed that horror movies aren't what they used to be. I mean, really, movies in general aren't what they used to be, but specifically in the horror movie genre. They used to focus around a monster like the Mummy or Swamp Thing, Frankenstein's monster. And that was your doorway into the horror aspect of the movie. Now horror movies have long since become more about the psychology of everyday people, imagining the worst way possible someone would react in a really bad or unsettling situation. And the horror part of that, aside from any jump scares or on-screen bloodshed, is really all about how we as humans may be prone to acting the same way if we ourselves were thrown into the same situation. That's a very minimal approach to filmmaking, and Violation is no exception. The script could have been filmed by an average Joe with an iPhone and a few willing actors. 6 actors, to be precise, in the case of Violation. There's no special effects, no smoke and mirrors, just good old-fashioned storytelling about betrayal that pushes Miriam, played by Madeleine Sims-Fewer, over the edge. But you'll notice, too, that the horror genre is now handling a major social issues and is acting as a sort of catharsis for justice that is yet to be meted out. It's a total takeover of the revenge thriller we once knew. Violation is an incredibly self-serious, dark, and extremely violent film about a very normal woman who takes revenge on her rapist. I love these kind of fantasy revenge movies. Scalping Nazis and the Inglourious Bastards, Deadpool gruesomely taking out pedophiles, and any time a woman can exact blood revenge on her sexual abuser or rapist. It's always a good thing. Thumbs up for me. I like that. If only that could happen in real life. But there's more than just that to unpack as the story of Violation proceeds. The story is simple, but told out of order. Miriam and her boyfriend Caleb, played by Obi Abelai, visit her sister Greta, played by Anna Maguire, and her husband Dylan, played by Jesse, here we go again, Lavercombe, at their lake house. Things are already off to a rocky start as the sisters' relationship is obviously, well, rocky. Things escalate when Miriam and Dylan share a drunken kiss, and then Dylan proceeds to rape Miriam the next morning. With the order being thrown off, it offers a unique perspective from different angles. I'm not quite sure how that works exactly. Kind of like a trial unfolding in a courtroom, but it works. I believe that this would have been a lot less interesting film had it been told in chronological fashion. Because in this way, we see the revenge take place before the crime. So the tables turn quite ironically. There are other forms of violation that take place throughout this movie, including her sister not believing her account of the rape. The film feels very much like an indie horror film minus any supernatural existence, unless you count the rape as some invisible force relentlessly chasing down Miriam. The scenery in this film is quite refreshing as well, if you like lakes and mountains. But then your breath is taken away when the violence and the revenge kick in. The themes are played too obviously for me in this movie. Too on the nose. I swear the art of subtlety is lost on most filmmakers and artists of today, and it's a real shame. There's metaphors here that I'm sure even my 6-year-olds could pick up on, thus eliminating any need to think about what's being told on screen. As for the acting, I think the entire cast, all 6 of them, did a good job. Nothing jaw-dropping or award-worthy, but good enough to keep this kind of movie going. Once in a while, it feels like some of them are trying too hard, like they really want the audience to know what they're feeling or saying, and that in turn gives the impression that the actors on screen don't trust the audience to make assumptions or draw their own conclusions about certain events unwrapping. Once the revenge actually kicks in, though, it's fun gore porn. And there's definitely some hardcore porn mixed in if you're into that. But what I found more fun than the violence itself was watching Miriam decompose as she carried out her bloody revenge on Dylan. Weaving the actual revenge scene with the rape itself was a great way to justify her actions and keep us, the audience, in her mind at all times, because the rape, of course, is what fuels her bloodlust. However, in the end, this movie really existed for just that one scene, and it wasn't enough to carry the rest of the movie. So, I'm gonna have to give this movie a 2, because there's no rewatchability factor, unless you're someone who's going to go back and rewatch that one scene over and over, and there's nothing that really justifies existence as a film. It's not something people are going to be talking about years or even months from now. And that brings us to the conclusion of my review for Violation. I'd like to thank you for watching. You can find more of my work on Filmbook. That's film-book.com. Just type in Andrew Toy. You can also find more of my video reviews on YouTube. Just type in Andrew Toy or Should You Watch It. There you'll find me review a bunch of older movies. You'll find that link in the description below. If you liked what you hear during my review, please like the video, subscribe to our channel, and click the bell icon so that you are instantly notified when new reviews are published. If you agree or disagree with my review, leave your thoughts on the comment section below. Please also consider becoming one of our patrons on Patreon. The link is in the description. Your support helps us create more engaging content. Thank you for listening. I'll see you next time.